Greetings, Mega Man fans, and welcome back to the Mega Man Super Fighting Robot LPA. In this episode, we'll be taking on the brutish thug Axman. When I said brutish, I wasn't kidding. Axman is probably one of the biggest bosses among the 8 robot masters here. His stage was actually one of the 3 present in the demo. Unlike Zapman's stage, I'd have to say his stage changed a fair bit. One of the ways it changed is that the introduction to the conveyor belt is a lot safer. Originally, that dunked you into a pit, which isn't necessarily the best way to go about introducing a new gimmick. Anyway, another nice thing is Beak V has a fairly solid introduction. The Beak V is a very simple enemy. It's a beak that will alternate between shooting forward and shooting in a V shape. And it's shielded when it's not shooting. And that enemy there was a bomb metar. It's a bomb, and it jumps at you constantly, exploding when it hits you or when you kill it. Don't let it stand too close to you because, trust me, that explosion hurts. Though not quite as much as this swinging axe guillotine thing. The swinging axe here, which as you can see swings from right to left, and then it does the same, only faster. If you let yourself get hit by it, that is half of your health gone. Specifically half of your current health, not half of your maximum health. But that could still be the difference between life and death in some situations. Meaning the swinging axe is really not a gimmick you want to underestimate. So, this is definitely a stage you want to be careful in. It was worse in the original, since the swinging axes originally just drained your health straight to 1. But the testers found that was a bit too much, and I in particular found it awkward, because it made it really terrifying if you were at full health, but if you had next to no health anyway, you really didn't care if you got hit by the axe or not. Which, I found that a little awkward, honestly. The second bomb metar gets the chance to actually show off its proper jump height. That being said, it's still not much harder to deal with than the first one. I wonder if that health will last long. Aha! Automated health delivery. I can't complain about that. Reminds me of Mega Man Rocks a little. But yeah. That second bomb metar. As you can see, it has a fair bit of jump height to it. But it's nothing, like, hideously ridiculous or anything like that. And that was risky. Yeah, you can jump through the chains on these axes. Trust me, you'll need to know about that. Oh, hi there. Ow. Case in point, those explosions hurt. So that being said, I do like how its difficulty was steadily building up. That first one giving a brief introduction to how it behaves, the second one showcasing how far it can jump, and then this third one here being the first actually dangerous one. While the first 2, if you get hit by them, that's really your own fault. This third one, I can understand if a player got hit by that. And this conveyor belt being able to dunk us in a pit is kind of a bad thing. Then, in exchange, it lets us learn how guillotine works by literally just standing there. If you let guillotine hit you too close to the pit, yeah, you're gonna get dunked into it, but otherwise, as you saw, it wasn't too hard to dodge. How guillotine behaves is pretty simple. It flies towards you, and when it lines up with you, it drops. Nothing too fancy, really. In this next room, we have 2 new enemy types. The first one is the Gabule Type A, and the second one are moles. Yeah, in case my tone shift didn't tell you anything, I'm not a big fan of moles. At least, most of the time. I actually can't say I have very many issues with moles as they are in Super Fighting Robot. You can see where they're coming from very easily, and rather than be completely randomized, they spawn in set locations, making them a lot easier to deal with. You can plan around them. Anyway, that Gabule there, Gabule Type A, is an interesting beast. It still stops when you shoot it, but when you are on the same platform as it, it actually slows down instead of speeding up. In other words, it is basically a reverse Gabule. An interesting combination of, which is an interesting behavior. Gabule Type A is probably one of the more interesting enemy types this game throws at you. And, can I get the E-Tank and... No, I cannot get the E-Tank and make it out without taking damage. Oh well. Damage is... Oh well, a little damage is worth it. E-Tanks are good to have. Ow. Well, out of the mole room at least. Like I said, the moles aren't too bad in this game. Which, ow, I can appreciate. Oh dear. Ow. Oh well. Case in point, half health. I went from 2 hit points to 1. Which also kind of shows the nature of this level here. Axman's level does a ton of damage. You need to be careful here, otherwise you're going to be tanking a ton of hits that you don't want to be tanking. Especially considering we now have telebombs to boot. Which, well, we already know how dangerous telebombs can be. And I might end up actually needing my E-Tank. Oh, great. Okay. There we go. Oh! Hi! That was a gear reverser. So named because when it sees you, it reverses the directions of the conveyor belt and then drops. It's a fairly tricky enemy, and as you can see, the conveyor belts here are now a lot more dangerous than they were a couple of seconds ago, but it's not too bad an enemy, really. In fact, for the longest time, I wasn't even sure quite what it did. Ow, and that was not well timed. Oh, this is gonna be close. Alright, can I pull this off? Yes, I can! Good! Well then, good thing I made it to a checkpoint room. Incidentally, it's a good thing that platform was there. It wasn't there in the demo, and as a result, well, Beak could shoot you in the face while you were still trying to figure out what just happened. That axe platforming section back there was a tricky spot, but I can't say I was really that impressed by it, since outside of the last axe, there's no differences in how you get through each one. It doesn't really have a difficulty curve, which is a little disappointing, but oh well. I have seen worse. Anyway. And on that note, another room with, oh. Ow. No! I wanted those! Oh well. This game is rather, generous with its screw count, so I think I'll be fine. Interestingly enough, it looks like as we're getting deeper into this factory, the place is beginning to break down. And this right here is an Axe Lord. He looks awfully big and imposing. He's really not that much of a threat. Once you aggro him, he just starts throwing axes in your general direction. If you're careful, he's not too difficult, and I'm sad now. I wanted that health. But, oh well. Axlord originally appeared a lot earlier, and his introduction was far more dangerous. But, well, that was fixed. The more dangerous introduction bit, at least. And, wow! Axman, you've made a real mess of the place. Like, yeesh. It is kind of interesting, though. Kind of tells a little story. Gives us an idea of what kind of opponents we'll be in for. Okay. Timing! And health! Health is appreciated in this level. And... okay. Oh? Oh! Hello, Gear Reverser. This time around, I definitely could... I didn't notice Gear Reverser's behavior at first, but in here, you definitely notice how it works. And one of the only times you get to snipe a guillotine. And then my greed promptly gets me to take damage. Yeah! Oh my! That was a clever use of Gear Reverser and Guillotine and Conveyor Belts. Oh my! Oh, that was a tricky section. Definitely like it though. A good kind of nerve-wracking. Oh, we have moles again. Ow. Yeah. Oh wow, I had almost full health. Yikes. That! Ow! I wish I saw that Gear Reverser sooner. Oh well. At this point, we're practically out of the woods. Oh! Hi, you're a guillotine. Oh! I made the jump. Nice. Yeah, wow. This stage. Simple gimmicks, fairly simple design, but wow. This is probably one of the most nerve-wracking, most difficult stages in this game. Well, at least among the Robot Masters. And unlike Coleman's stage, it's not really very heavily reliant on instant death in order to make itself a threat. No, this stage prefers to nickel and dime you to death instead. Bring E-tanks, you will probably want them. I honestly don't find I have too much of an issue with this stage. It even has a fairly solid difficulty curve, and I like the way the factory starts looking more destroyed as you get deeper. Seems Axman refrained from breaking things up here. Anyway, Axman himself is a bit of a tricky prospect. His behavior is partially pattern-based, partially controlled by his health. When he lands from a jump, he creates an earthquake. So, try not to be grounded when he lands. Otherwise, for his attacks, he will fire the giant. He'll either use the giant axe, or he'll swing a colossal axe at you. The giant axe is fired in an arc, where when he slams the colossal axe down, he fires this spread of sparks. Now, the nature of his behavior... Ow. The nature of his behavior is ow. Yes, perfect. How his jumps work is they are controlled by whether or not he has a prime number for his health. If his health is prime, then he will do 3 jumps instead of the usual 2. This is very useful knowledge for how to deal with him. basically means well-planned use of charge shots will keep him from doing 3 jumps until the fight concludes. That being said, okay, there. Ow. Get. That being said, though, do be wary. He still does a lot of damage, and for some reason, I know I said prime numbers, but for some reason, Axman seems to think 25 is a prime number. And there, 2 is a prime number, so 3 jumps. For his giant axe and his colossal swing, he'll use the giant axe twice, colossal swing once, and then he'll switch, using colossal swing twice and giant axe once. So he alternates between his attacks for that. I don't know if he always starts with giant axe, though. Speaking of which, giant axe is his master weapon. It's an arcing axe, which you get to control its arc by pressing either up or down, and it's a really great weapon. It has a large hitbox. It does a fairly decent amount of damage. Most importantly, it pierces pretty much all forms of shields, meaning giant axe is a very good weapon to get basically as soon as you can. Like most of the weapons in this game, really. Anyway, that was Axman's level. Definitely one of my favorites. I really like how Axman's level has come out in comparison to the demo. The demo version was a lot more Anyway, with that, that's the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you for the next one, where I think we're probably gonna cool off a little after that little fiasco. But, until then, goodbye!